Hey guys, if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back to Priscapfupajena. If you're new to my channel, welcome to Priscapfupajena. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys a budget breakdown for a 6-night trip to Nyanga for 2 people. So if you are interested, stay tuned. So whenever one plans a trip, you always have to have a budget, right? So when I planned to go to Nyanga, I had no idea on how much I need to roughly budget for, right? I did so much research, but the internet doesn't always give you the answers that you need. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a video about this just to give people what a basic budget for a 6-night trip to Nyanga is. Whether you decide to go for 3 nights, 2 nights, but hopefully this can work as a guideline for your trip once you're planning it. First things first, accommodation. Without accommodation, what are you doing, right? In Nyanga, for accommodation, the good thing is that there's so many options to choose from because there's Airbnbs, there's cottages, there's lodges, there's people who even rent out their homes off of Airbnb. So you'll be looking at a rough range of about maybe the lowest $60 a night to as high as $200 a night. But all this depends on A, how modern the house is, or cottage or lodges or resort, B, location of the place, and 3, how many people are actually going. So when you are booking a cottage or a place off of Airbnb, this all varies on the number of people that go. So for instance, if you go as a person, just you alone, solo trip, right? Possibly you could be looking at a certain amount that you'd be paying per night, whereas maybe if it's now 2 people, they could charge you, let's say, $72 a night, and then maybe once you're going as 4 people, it becomes more, and maybe they'll charge you, let's say, I don't know, $90 a night, right? So for accommodation, $74 I think it was per night, which equals to a total of $480 because we decided to book our accommodation via Airbnb because we stayed at a cottage called Springhide, and to be fair with you, the views were absolutely fantastic. It was in a secluded place, no network, no TV, no internet, nothing. So you are really going for a relaxation kind of holiday, not anything other than that. So accommodation, $480 for 6 nights. Next thing is groceries. This all depends on whether you as a person are going to want to cook, depending on what kind of accommodation you've chosen, because if you decided to stay in a hotel, clearly there's no need for budgeting for groceries. What you'll now need to budget for is how much you'll be spending in eating out for your breakfast. Well, breakfast, I guess if it's a hotel, it's included, but mainly for lunch and dinner, right? But if you are going to choose a place which is just self-catered, then for groceries, you're going to be looking at a range of $150 to $200. Again, this is all based off of 6 nights, so keep that in mind. So this includes your breakfasts, your lunch, your dinners, your toiletries, and other miscellaneous things that you are going to need and buy. The next thing that you'll need to budget for is for your fuel, and this all depends on the kind of car that you're taking, but for the most part, one is going to need a 4x4 once they decide to go to Nyanga, because there's going to be dust roads, off-roads, and all of that. So any other car that's not a 4x4 is not going to be ideal. You can, but it's not recommended. So for fuel, Usually a 4x4 would take up about 9.8 liters every 100 kilometers, and given that Nyanga is about 290 kilometers away from Harare, that is, which is the capital city, you will at least use about 26 liters of diesel, that is, for your trip to Nyanga. So once you arrive within Nyanga, you're going to be doing various activities, and things are always not so close to each other, and all this depends on where your accommodation location is. So I would recommend that one actually budgets for about 120 liters of diesel or petrol. Again, you might not use up all of it, but just to be on the safe side, better budget for more than less. So for a liter now, diesel goes for 1.27, so $1.27, and then petrol goes for $1.26. So in total, for the 120 liters, that means you have to budget $152 worth of diesel or petrol. Another thing that you might have to budget for if one has decided to actually book a self-catered accommodation is you might need to budget for diesel or petrol for your generator, or for the generator that's probably offered there if the accommodation doesn't have any solar. So for generator, usually it's always safe to budget for about 20 liters. So again, $1.26 or $1.27 by 20 liters will give you this much that you'll need to budget for your generator fuel. The next thing is toll gates. On your way from, between Harare and Nyanga, I think if I remember there were 3 toll gates in total. So for your trip to go and your trip to come back, you will need to budget at least $15 US for toll gates. But yes, $15 for toll gates. So for eating out, if you, like I was saying before, if you haven't booked a place which is self-catered but rather offers a service where you need to be paying for lunch and dinner, eating out at, let's say, Troutberg Resort, that will cost you about $25 US per person for a buffet. So if you're going to be eating lunch and dinner every day for 6 nights for 2 people, you will be spending $100 a day. So by 6, that will give you $600 for your whole trip that's budgeted to eating out on a day. Keep that in mind. It's going to be expensive, so better you book a place that's actually self-catered. Activities. So for activities in Nyanga, most of the activities that are there fall under Nyanga National Park. So in Zim, when something is located within a national park, there's park fees that one needs to pay, and this costs about $5 per person, and then $5 a car, or per car rather, sorry. So if you're 2 people per day, if you spread out your activities and you say that we're going to do an activity per day, this means that you'll be spending $15 a day, and then by the 6 days, or times the 6 days that one will be staying there, that equals to about $75 US. The only activity that you need to pay extra for is once one decides they want to go and do the Skyline and Skywalk, which is located in Tarazi Falls. And for the Skyline, it costs $70 per person, which is basically a zip line if those of you are not familiar with the term Skyline. So it's basically zip lining. And then if you just decide to do the Skywalk, that costs $40 US per person. However, if you do want to do the combo, meaning doing both the Skyline and the Skywalk, that will cost you $90 US. So if both of you do decide to do both activities, that will cost you an extra $180 other than the $15 that you would have paid for the park fees. So a tip and trick for the park fees is that rather than doing an activity a day and you decide on doing maybe 2 activities a day that's within the Nyanga National Park, that whole ticket that you would have paid lasts for a day. So the good thing is, once you've paid for the Nyanga National Park fees, you won't have to pay again. So once you pay your $15, you can do as many activities that you can within the space of that day, and I hope that makes sense. Last but not least, you always need extra money when you go for a trip. So just in case anything happens, whether you need a change of tire and you don't have an extra tire, or you might need something, or even when one wants to purchase a souvenir for people back home, then yes, I think it's always best to have at least an extra $200 that's on the side, just in case, or for a rainy day. So yeah, in total, for a 6-night trip to Nyanga for 2 people, your overhead budget is about plus or minus $1,293. So I hope this video helps those of you who are planning a trip to Nyanga anytime soon. And if you are going anytime soon, I really hope you enjoy yourself, because Nyanga is such a beautiful, peaceful and relaxing place. You can never go wrong when one decides that, you know what, I think I want to go to Nyanga for holiday. So yes, stay tuned in my next videos. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more videos that I'll be posting on a weekly. So without further ado, I will see you guys next week. Bye.